YouTubers, here's a video about my air right compressor system going out on me, but spoiler alert, got it fixed.
All right, YouTubers, that is the compressor pump for my air ride system. I tried fixing the ground. Thought maybe the ground was the reason it's not working, but that wasn't it. My neighbor and I fiddled with it before, and we'd cut the wire and jumpered it straight from the battery to the compressor, and that got it working. So now we're gonna fiddle with this. He's gonna do more than I am.
So we started off thinking the compressor was bad, and then we found it to be probably a wiring issue, so we checked the wires everywhere, couldn't find the problem there, but you keep looking through a mess of spaghetti like this, and eventually you get to figure it out.
All right, YouTubers. I'm not gonna explain it very well, but we figured out where the problem was.
Turned out the lever on the control panel is bad.
I had nothing to do with this. My neighbor's like really smart, and we're gonna do a workaround. We're gonna jerry rig it. As you can see, we got it to fill up with air, and I used a tape measure, and the RV did fill up. It did move up, but he's gonna wire two things together, and then over here, this switch is the switch. I think it was for the TV that was here before. It's not used anymore. So what we're basically going to do is when I want to use this, I'll turn this switch on. And of course I asked, okay, if this doesn't go right, what's a downside? I guess if I was dumb and left this up, in theory, I could burn up the motor. But I'm going to be able to remember, like, all right, I want to fill up the air. I turn this on and I move the switch up. That's our plan. That's how we think this is going to work. And, you know, this is just a rat's nest of 20 years of I don't know who did what to who. But, yeah. It tells me fuse block and the different things that are here. But there is the fuse block. I took the 20 amp out and I fiddled to make sure all these connections are good. And as you can see.
And the fuse block is all good.
I said, well, because we were going to do a switch, put a switch right here for it. And I said, well, we got this here. And we checked it, and it's still a functioning switch. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'll show you if we get this working. But, like I said, we got air in it.
I actually felt lucky that this switch was even there, because to me, this is the easiest and most rational decision, dealing with all those silly wires.
So, okay, where it goes to the bottom of the switch there, that's bad. So we splice these together, trace them over here, and through this rat nest that, again, existed before I owned this, and mounted it to that switch that was already in place. So I'll show you how it works in a second. This little cover goes in that corner, and I'm gonna see if I can get it back in there. We'll worry about that later. Okay, so I will try to explain. That is the air ride switch, all back in place. You can see I got it just under 50 pounds. If I want to let air out, I can still let air out here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Seems to go a lot faster than it used to. So that's all the air out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna show you something. Do some measuring. All right, so there we go. It's just about 33 and a half, a little bit less. I know where it is. And now we're gonna fill it, and I'll show you what it looks like after. So I'm gonna start her up. You can see it's on 0. Now I'm gonna go over here to the switch. You can hear the pump compressor running, and it's filling up. And as you can see, nothing on there. No hands on that inflator. I'll put it up to 55. And I turned the switch off, and it stopped. And it's staying at 55. Now let's go double check how high it is, the measurement to the top of the... And as you can see there, it's about 34 3/4. I don't know how well this is catching it here, but yeah, so it definitely raised this sucker up. And it works. Alright, YouTubers, now I'm going to close this all up. Once we figured out it was the switch, I got on the old Google machine, you know. How much does a Firestone control switch thingy cost? And right about $100. So it would have cost me $100 to buy the part. If I would have taken this to a dealership, I don't know what it would charge. I would easily say they would have charged $500 to start with. Probably would have cost a lot of money. Is the best answer to jerry rig it with that switch there? Maybe not for a lot of people. But this didn't cost me anything. It took us about an hour and a half. And again, when I say us, I didn't really do anything. Except the only thing that I did is this switch was my idea. Because we were going to put one back in here. And I said, well, we got that switch right there. And then we checked that it worked. So that's basically all I contributed. And then down there on the floor, we had to get a wire bare, see if it was hot. And I taped that back up with electric tape. That's pretty much all I did was electrical tape. And hey, why don't we use that? Because it's there. But I'll get them a Kroger card or something like that. They always help me so much. He's such a cool dude. I was helping to troubleshoot, and again, let's show you in here. When you get back into all those wires, trying to figure out who goes to who, you know, who's in a relationship and who doesn't like each other at all. I mean, it's easy to take the generator remote start out of the picture, but there's a lot of wires that were very confusing back there, and I got frustrated. But
first, I know it didn't come from the factory like this, and our work wasn't perfect, but whoever did this, they had cut so many wires and used different colors. It was a total mess.
Again, world's greatest neighbor, and Eddie is ready for trips. Or that's one project that gets Eddie ready for trips. Hope this was helpful. Any comments of stupid idea? I mean, the only thing I could think, worst comes to worst, I have to replace this switch anyways in time. But, you know, I'm not always a big fan of jerry-rigging stuff. Back in the day when my wallet was thicker, I would always, I would not tolerate anything wrong with a vehicle. It was in the shop as soon as possible. And those days have changed, and I'm happy to have this working. So again, any comments, ideas, thoughts? Yay, I'm a very happy camper right now, and I might be a camper again. World is crazy. Please be safe. All right, we're going to try to do some cleanup. I don't know how well you can see. These brackets hold the back of this on, and wow, it's really hard to film stuff. But here we go. I put some tie straps here to keep the wires up high, and then we'll put this guard back in place, and I should be good to go. Here we go, cleaned up. Those are back in place. We're not gonna get these wires caught. Okay, but that is basically the glove compartment. I got that shroud back in, one of those screws in there, and there's the wires. They're not tight. I have the use back of my compartment up there, and everything will stay safe. I'm gonna test it again.
There are lots of ways to fix things, and this was one of those.
So yeah, it's back to normal. That's what it's supposed to look like.
If it wasn't helpful, I hope it was entertaining. Have a great and wonderful day.